Hi, I'm Dr. Ravina Kullar, an infectious disease specialist based out of Los Angeles. With schools now reopening in many states, you may be wondering, is it really safe to take your kids back to school? Well, we are in the midst of a pandemic with about 4 million cases in the United States, and there being over 150,000 deaths in the United States. Short answer, in my opinion, it is not safe for schools to reopen this fall. Even though there is a lower prevalence for children acquiring COVID-19, they still are at risk. There is a complication which children may encounter known as Kawasaki disease for those individuals that do acquire COVID-19. Kawasaki disease is an inflammatory response where all your organs pretty much shut down. Very high risk these children are at in acquiring Kawasaki disease if they do get COVID-19. So that is very problematic in my opinion. What I think the solution is that school systems need to actually invest in virtual learning, and they need to put money into that. Even though these children, they will not be interacting with their classmates and their colleagues, there can be virtual learning that these children can do where they can virtually interact with their classmates and virtually get the teaching with their teachers. And I think that is the solution while we are in this pandemic. Until we really see a decrease of cases, until we see that there is a plateau of cases, that's when we can start actually having this conversation of reopening schools. But until we're at that point, we cannot even start having that conversation. I just want to give you a breakdown of all the various school systems where I think there are issues. So college, I think, is the most problematic because you have the lowest probability of really, the lowest almost way to monitor those students, where after they leave their classroom, they're in their dorm setting and they have the capability of having mass gatherings, drinking, taking off their masks, not having any physical distancing that's put in place, them not worrying about hand hygiene. And that is a huge concern because these college settings such as Penn State, which are big campuses, Michigan State University, UCLA, there can be major outbreaks that can happen in those college settings. In those other school systems, such as middle school, high school, preschool, you may be able to monitor those students a lot more in terms of there being plexiglass, which is put in front of their desks, there being a cohort or a staggered approach to some of their classes, where there's a maximum of about 15 people per class, only allowing a certain number of people to go into the hallway or their locker at specific times. But still, with those measures in place, there is still a substantial risk for these children acquiring the virus. So bottom line, it is not safe to reopen schools right now. I think we need to wait it out until we really get a handle of this virus. Again, there's a petri dish that we create of infection in these school systems, and let's prevent this from happening.